If you're not a schmuck and you didn't get hit by a truck or slapped by a duck, stay till the end for a punny surprise. Alright, so here's a story that's kind of out there. You know how in Harry Potter everyone's got magic? It's like that in the magic realm. Except here, magic is a serious business. If you can cast spells, you're in. If you can't, learn Chinese. Now imagine living in that world, but being the only one who can't use magic. Sounds tough, right? That's our guy Mash. He's not your typical wizard. Actually, you're not a wizard, Mash. Instead, he's this super ripped guy who loves working out and is obsessed with cream puffs. Guess you could say he's a sweet guy. He lives with his dad, Regro, a wise old man who used to be a wizard, but is past his prime now. Together, they live this quiet life in a forest hut, away from the magic-filled city. Mash isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I mean, the guy ripped off their door because he couldn't remember if it was push or pull. But Mash's life is not all laughs and cream puffs. You see, in the magic realm, people who can't use magic are treated like outcasts. That's why Regro always tells Mash to stay away from the city. But of course, Mash being Mash, he breaks the rules and runs off to the city. Guess why? To buy cream puffs. Now everyone in the magic realm has this mark, a sort of magical birthmark. But Mash doesn't have one. And when people see his unmarked face, they freak out. Next thing you know, the police are involved. There's this high-ranking officer named Brad who's sent to arrest Mash. Brad and his team track Mash and Regro to their forest hut. We then learn about Regro's past. He used to be a weak magic user, always looked down upon by the powerful wizards. He was on the verge of ending his life when he found Mash, an unmarked baby abandoned by his parents. From then on, Regro dedicated his life to protecting Mash. Then there's a big showdown. Mash takes on Brad and his team, using his raw strength to fight off their magic attacks. The sight of this muscle-bound guy juggling magic attacks and taking down the officers is epic. After a tense battle, Mash manages to defeat Brad. But instead of punishing them, Brad offers a deal. He wants Mash to join a prestigious magic school and become the Divine Visionary, the top dog among students. It's a big deal, and it would make Mash an accepted part of their society. To keep his dad safe and live a peaceful life, Mash agrees to Brad's conditions. In the next episode, Mash makes it into Easton Magic Academy. It's this fancy magic school, like Harvard but for wizards. Easton is renowned for its high standards and rigorous admissions process, accepting less than 3% of applicants each year. On the day of the exam, Claude Lucci, a high-ranking magic user, noticed Mash doing physical exercises instead of studying magic, and thought that was sus. The exam started with a test paper enchanted by Claude's magic. The questions were squirming around, and the students needed to dispel the enchantment to align them. While others struggled, Mash simply ordered the questions to stop moving, and to everyone's shock, they obeyed. The physical section of the exam was equally surprising. Tasks included moving a massive boulder and running on water. Mash, known for his physical strength, breezed through these tasks, even lifting the boulder with just one finger. The final test was a magically constructed maze filled with traps. A girl, Lemon Irvine, proposed to work together with Mash to navigate it. But here's the twist. Lemon had made a deal with Claude to sabotage Mash. Despite her attempts, Mash saved her from a sphinx and bulldozed through the maze walls to reach the goal. Upon completing the maze, Headmaster Wahlberg, no, not that one, intervened amidst the rising tensions between Claude, Lemon, and Mash. He decided to take charge of the remaining part of the exam. Wahlberg's interview included a grueling test of courage and determination. Using an ancient magic, he threatened to transfer the soul of Regro, Mash's adopted father, into a doll. Despite the danger, Mash remained firm, proving his readiness to face any risk to protect those he cared for. Impressed by Mash's bravery, Wahlberg saw in him the capacity to use power responsibly and welcomed him into Easton Magic Academy. Once admitted, Mash began his classes, maintaining his unique approach to problem-solving. In a class teaching the magical unlocking of locks, Mash, relying on his brute strength, simply broke the lock open. Next, Mash met his roommate Finn. Initially taken aback by Mash's unique introduction, naming each of his muscles, Finn warmed up to him, even sharing a cream puff. In the latest installment of Mash's adventures, our magicless hero has been up to his usual mind-boggling exploits. Mash had quite the misunderstanding when he brought a burdock, thinking it was a broom for his upcoming class. Finn laughs at him but then gives him a spare one. In class, they had a flying lesson. The students, including Mash, were instructed to channel their magic into their brooms and command them to fly. Everyone except Mash succeeded. Yet Mash found his own way by stomping on the ground, causing the broom to leap into his hand. He then commanded it to fly, which amused and infuriated some students. Then, a confident student challenged Mash to a race, and whoever loses must obey the winner. The race was over before it even started, as Mash finished it instantly, much to everyone's surprise. Finn, unlike the others, noticed that Mash had thrown his broom, then jumped on it mid-air, finishing the race in a blink. The challenger, unable to accept his loss, had a squabble with Mash but was silenced by Lloyd Cavil, another student. Lloyd, known for his influential family, was feared by all. He offered Mash friendship, but it was clear he had ulterior motives. Unaware of Lloyd's true nature, Mash misheard his name as Spud Cabbage and accepted his offer. The next day, Mash found his textbooks destroyed, courtesy of Lloyd. Lloyd manipulated Mash, offering to help him become a divine visionary. Mash, innocent as ever, was pleased and started running errands for him. Finn confessed to Mash that he was involved in the textbook mischief, feeling guilty for betraying his friend. As Lloyd kept pushing his boundaries, Mash finally lost his cool when Finn was hurt by Lloyd. Mash retaliated, putting Lloyd in his place, literally knocking him out. This intervention didn't go unnoticed and attracted Vice Principal Farman Kregos' attention. Farman, fuming over Mash's audacity to harm Lloyd, decided to hold a school conference to discuss their punishment. But Mash, undeterred, knocked Farman into a hole he had dug. Farman threatened to expel Mash, but the boy nonchalantly continued burying him. This incident reached the Bureau of Magic and they ordered Mash's expulsion. However, Headmaster Wahlberg, witnessing Mash's righteous action, burned the notice, stating that he wanted someone like Mash to become a divine visionary. Mash then got involved in a broom-based sport called Duelo as Adler Dorm's representative, but trouble brewed as Mash couldn't fly a broom, disappointing the audience. The episode ended on a cliffhanger, leaving us wondering how Mash will resolve this new dilemma. Mash surprisingly takes the win in the broom-based Duelo game, thanks to his unique, non-magical method of flying. This victory lands Adler Dormitory a much-needed silver coin, their ticket up the magical school rankings. The next day, things get complicated. Lance Crown, a top-ranking student and a double-line magic user, a rare and powerful type, challenges Mash. He traps Mash's friends, Tom, Lemon, and Finn, in an ancient magical bottle. The challenge is accepted by Mash, despite his friends being used as leverage. Lance's gravity magic, Graviole, proves a tough obstacle. But Mash, true to his stubborn nature, manages to fight back even under the pressure. An intriguing moment comes when Mash knocks off Lance's pendant, revealing a picture of a young girl. Mash accuses Lance of being a lolicon, only to learn it's Lance's sister, Anna. This leads to a somewhat comical back and forth about what's more important in life, ultimately showing Lance's intense devotion to his sister. In a gripping climax, Lance tries to exploit Mash's need to protect his friends. He threatens to drop the magical bottle containing them off a cliff, planning to attack Mash when he attempts to save it. However, Mash employs his so-called hamstring magic, swiftly retrieves the bottle, and even reveals that Lance had used a decoy. In the end, Mash's unconventional ways win Lance over, who yields his silver coin to Mash, respecting their original bet. Mash rescues his friends, although he playfully regrets doing so when they start annoying him. This institution, though not Hogwarts, does have a striking resemblance with three major dorms: Adler, Orca, and Lang. Each one represents courage, wisdom, and ambition, respectively. There's a fourth dorm, but it's as negligible as the Hufflepuff dorm at Hogwarts. No offense to any Hufflepuffs out there. Our favorite duo, Mash and Finn, reside in Adler dorm, and they're in the midst of a simple math discussion that takes a hilariously complicated turn. Finn's desperately trying to explain the coin conversion rate. It's not rocket science, but our dear Mash insists he needs 28 more silver coins to make a gold one. Mash's mathematical antics make a funny start to the episode. Their chill time gets a reality check when Finn remembers their potions assignment. Cue panic. But who shows up to save the day? The ever-arrogant yet somehow endearing Lance, who whips them into shape, well, tries to at least. Now we're in potions class, where Mandragora vegetables are causing a ruckus. Remember those screaming plants from Harry Potter? Mash tames his Mandragora with a hefty slap. Only Mash could pull that off. Finn fares well too, managing to lull his Mandragora to sleep. Our usually clueless Mash shocks everyone, including Lance, by transforming his Mandragora into a cream puff. Yes, a cream puff. We have yet to figure out how that one happened. Lance, hilariously baffled, concludes that Mash is pretty much hopeless in magic, except when it comes to fighting, that is. In the midst of all this magical madness, we see a spark of camaraderie between Lance and Mash. Both of them are determined to protect their coins, with their sights set on the Bureau of Magic. It's a sweet moment amidst the chaos. But let's shift gears to a hallway brawl featuring a Naruto wannabe. Dot Barrett, a red-haired, headband-wearing guy, thinks he's the main character of this universe and beats up 3 students just because he can. The nerve, right? Over at Lang House, the head student ominously declares that only a Lang can be a ruler, not an Adler. The vibe was uncannily similar to Slytherin House in Harry Potter, don't you think? Fast forward to our Adler boys in the potions lab, munching on Mandragora cream puffs, with Lance hilariously failing at playing the responsible teacher. They then have an outdoor lesson in a forest. Cue Mash believing it's a camping trip. Classic Mash. Things escalate when they encounter Dot Barrett again, who persists in asserting his main character status. The students then receive their forest task, exterminating scorpions for precious bronze and silver coins. Who said magic school was all fun and games? Just as things seem to be simmering down, Silva, a creepy silver-haired guy, appears. He attacks Mash with magic stones and brushes it off as a simple introduction. Talk about a dramatic hello. Back in the forest, Mash, ever the lone wolf, wanders off and stumbles upon Dot again. Their reunion is interrupted by a damsel in distress, who Dot heroically saves. In return, she showers him with admiration, leading to a comical meltdown from Dot, who's clearly inexperienced with female attention. Silva, meanwhile, single-handedly defeats a giant scorpion, earning a silver coin. Back with Mash, Dot, and the girl, she attempts to bewitch Mash with her magic, only to be shockingly unsuccessful. She then spins a sob story about Silva stalking her, and Dot, being the chivalrous guy, promises to protect her. Right on cue, Silva shows up to challenge Dot. Despite his bravado and a huge machine gun magic attack, Silva easily deflects Dot's blows. But the real cliffhanger is when Silva's attack knocks a cream puff from Mash's hand. Our dessert-loving hero is going to be livid. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see a kid hunting down demons, hit this video. Be sure to take the biggest lumberjack chainsaw and cut through the subscribe button and smack the like button for more.